This is a Mack Tight Radio exclusive.
Matt Tight Radio Snitch.
Rocking with the hottest radio station, Mack Type Radio, Ready to Learn Show. Yours truly, Mac Joker, and today we got a special guest in the building. Go ahead and introduce yourself, let them know who you are and where you from.
Hey, this is Talein Harris. Thank you so much for having me today, Mac. I am an award-winning artist and as well as a radio personality, wife, minister, friend. How about that? We all need those in our lives. And I've just come to empower and inspire. I'm also a certified life coach, so that's a part of all of those things work together, so that I can continue to encourage and inspire people no matter what platform it is, whether I'm singing, whether I'm speaking, whether I'm doing things like this with you today as a radio interview. It's a blessing to be able to inspire and encourage people. And I truly believe that's why I've been placed on the earth. A lot of us don't know our purpose, but I'm grateful that I do. And I try to live every day in purpose and on purpose to inspire people. So thank you for having me today.
No doubt. It's such an honor and such a pleasure to have you today. And, I'm looking forward to it. So let's get right into it, Ms. Talein. How did you begin in the music industry? How did it all start?
Yeah, very good question. I've been singing since I was a little girl. Really, seriously, honestly, since I was about 2 years old. It's been documented. My mom has the actual paperwork from my nursery school teacher that talked about how I love music and I love to sing. I love to learn songs, and I learned them pretty fast. So very early on, I would say probably about around the age of in the third grade, which is probably about 7 or 8 years old, I was in my school choir, and I learned a lot, from my teacher then, Miss Adams. God rest her soul, but she was very instrumental also in kind of just birthing me in music and wanting to learn how to sing even more. So by the time I was 13 years old, I was in my very first talent show competition, and I was nervous, I was scared, I was shaking.
Right.
And when I came off the stage, my mom was like, "Oh my God, you did so good! It was so good! Oh, this is my baby," And I think that kind of pushed me over the edge as far as my courage and being able to get on stage and sing in front of a bunch of people and have them looking at you and that kind of thing. It was nerve-wracking in the beginning,
right.
And so once I got over my stage fright, as they call it was kind of, just my journey from there, and became Miss Black Maryland first and first runner-up Miss Black USA in 1992 and 93, which really, helped to kind of solidify who I was as a person and growing and learning and understanding how important it is to give back to my community and, just be a role model and an example for women, how they could persevere and how they could use their gifts and their talents as well. Not only just in that arena of pageantry, but just in life, period. And so then I was able to, I had an attorney at the time who knew someone from the group Atlantic Star, and they kept telling them, "Oh, we're looking for a new lead female vocalist. Do you know anybody?" So she was like, "Yeah, I got a client I think would be perfect, for that." And they called me up, auditioned for them over the phone. We talked for a while, and then they said, "Okay, we'll give you a call back by Friday." And they did. They called me Friday and said, "Hey, can you hop on the plane and come to California?"
Wow.
So I did. I hopped on the plane. I went to California, first time ever flying.
And at this time, how old were you at this time?
I was 23 years old at that time.
Okay. So you just jumped on the plane, went out there by yourself? And,
no, I didn't go by myself because my mom told me to go by myself. I went with my attorney. So she got on the flight with me. We went on out there. I was able to immediately coming off of the plane, went over to the studio and auditioned. And so, they said, okay, well, we're going to, audition a few other people. We'll go back to the hotel and kind of take some time and sightsee here in LA. Because
Right.
of course that was my first time ever going to LA.
Okay.
And I did, went on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and all the stuff that you do when you
Right.
go to California. And it was just it was a great experience. I came back and they said, hey, guess what? We selected you. So immediately that day, I started recording.
Wow. That same day.
That
Wow.
same day that they said they selected me, immediately started recording, and we recorded the project Time. I believe the first song that we worked on was Everybody's Got Summer,
Okay.
which is kind of an up-tempo song. It's very fun. Me and David Lewis were the lead vocals on that song.
Okay.
And we recorded a song called My Best Friend, which kind of is indicative to the love songs that Atlantic Starr is very much known for, like, Secret Lovers and Always and all
Right.
that kind of stuff. And so it was a really, really great experience. I'm glad that I had the opportunity, because I know so many people don't, who gets to sign with a major label at 20 years
Exactly.
old and be a part of a group that's been out, for over 15 years and
Right.
has such an illustrious career. And so it was a blessing. It was a really good experience.
Right. And I was going to say too, Miss Talein, that's kind of big at the time, because at that time, were there many, you let me know, were there many female lead vocalists of R&B groups at the time?
Well, you had your Midnight Star, which was one of my favorite groups also growing up.
Okay.
You had not a lot, so yeah,
Right.
you're right. At that time, you may have had all girl groups, right?
Exactly.
Or you may have had all male groups, but very few did you see with a female and all guys. So that was, I never even thought about that, Matt. So the fact that you bring up that point is very, very true. There weren't many female, artists that were leads in that type of group setup. Yeah. So that was a great opportunity.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, that's huge, especially at the time too, and everything. So I know you said you started out at 13. Did you have any inspiration? Maybe artists or anybody that you may have looked up to that kind of maybe motivated you or
Yeah, I had
inspired you.
a ton of inspiration growing up. I think I was in an era musically where you had true female singers. You had Patti LaBelle,
Say that.
Minnie Riperton, Tina Marie, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Gladys Knight. I mean, the list just kind of goes on and on and on. And they were classy women. They were women
Right.
with style, with grace.
Exactly.
They had their own Stephanie Mills. They had their own unique sound. Denise Williams. Those were the women that I grew up singing their music and actually allowing their voices and my voices to kind of mold and shape who I would become as an artist. Because a lot of times when you're first starting out, you have no sound. Right? You're trying to find your sound.
Exactly.
And so being able to sing all of those different female artists really helped me to develop my own sound. And eventually it's like, okay, if you hear me sing and you've heard me before, yep, that's Talein. Because when you hear certain artists, right,
Right.
I can close my eyes and listen to someone and say, oh, that's so-and-so. Oh, that's, or
Exactly.
that's this person. And that's because they have their own unique and distinct sound. And it takes time as an artist to develop that. And I don't think I really probably developed that until I got in my 20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but you found it and you hit on it. Once you find your identity, fans are able to, identify,
Right.
your sound.
Right.
So how long were you with Atlantic Starr?
So I was just with them for that particular project Time. I was
Okay.
with the Time album, which was on Arista Records. And, kind of going back, like you said, to the whole era thing where that was in an era where Whitney Houston was on the label at the time, and she was kind of at the height of her career, with I'll
Right.
Always Love You, the Bodyguard, movie, the soundtrack, and all of that. So it was an honor to, at that time to be in that era.
Oh yeah.
Clive Davis at the time, when Atlantic Star was looking for a female vocalist, he was very much instrumental in the selection of the sound of the female. And he was looking for a fresher, younger sound.
Right.
And so, that was one reason why I think they selected him, because it had to be approved by Mr. Davis. Otherwise, it was a no-go.
Right. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Yeah, and I got a chance to work with some of the greats as far as writing is concerned. If you're familiar with Miss Diane Warren, she is one of the hugest writers in the industry.
Iconic.
From just working with so many artists that I love and grew up with Toni Braxton and Celine Dion and all of those different women that she's had a chance to be a part of, really birthing their sound with her writing. And it was such a pleasure and a joy to work with her. She's really hilarious.
Right.
She's a good person to work with, though.
Do you have any stories or a story you may want to share in particular that you can share with us? Or
I do have a story. This is funny. I have a funny story. The funny story is about Diane, actually. So we're in the studio, and my mom flew in because I had to re-record stuff. So my mom flew in, and we, I got a chance to work with Diane again, and Diane has this pet parrot, right?
A pet parrot, okay.
So the pet parrot is in the studio. I mean, the parrot comes with her to the studio when she's in the studio.
Right.
And so I'm talking to Guy Roach, who was her engineer at the time. And I'm like, Guy, oh my goodness, is the bird gonna flop on anybody?
Right.
Or, is it okay? He's like, no, it's okay, it's all right. So my mom kept saying, oh my goodness, me and birds don't go well together, right?
Right, exactly.
She's had them having accidents with her before, in other words.
Okay, got you.
She's holding the bird, like the bird, Diane put the bird on her shoulder.
On the shoulder, right.
And the bird just let loose. I said,
wow.
Oh my goodness,
wow.
Mom, you sat there saying that you and birds just
don't get along. Right. In the studio.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
So that's my funny. That's my story.
That's definitely worth sharing. So let's talk about your transition, Miss Talein. So you leave Atlantic Star, and then so did you take a break, or did you immediately transition to gospel? Or tell us.
Oh wow, no. That transition was an interesting transition.
Okay.
To say the least.
Get your popcorn ready.
I think sometimes people, look at the transition from secular music to gospel music as something that might be maybe an easy thing. But because God is so meticulous in how he wants to present you to the world as a child of God, it's important that you have to be stripped of certain things. So there were a lot of things that I had to be stripped of. And once that took place, and that didn't feel good. Think about it, be stripped of something. It would not feel well. And so
exactly.
Feel good, but it was a good thing for me though, because all of the things that I've ever done has prepared me for what God has really called me to when it comes to music ministry. And so that process was rough. I went through depression. I went through, not really being confident in myself at the time and things like that. That whole thing just kind of almost imploded. And
I bet.
once I got my feet, under me again, got my footing, I ran into a friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe you're back from California, and you know you're now." I said, "Well, no, I'm not with the group anymore." He said, "Well, hey, why don't you sing at my gospel explosion?" I'm like, "Gospel explosion? I keep telling you I do R&B. I don't do gospel."
Right.
And I was at that place in my life, I think, where my heart was pliable, that God really wanted to get to my heart and develop relationship with me, because that's what it's about, having a relationship with Him.
Exactly.
And that translates and transcends into your music.
Exactly.
And so I did the gospel explosion. I started writing, gospel songs. I started listening to gospel music. And I really just, started going to church and fellowshipping. I joined that group of young people that were traveling around the DC metro area, because I'm from Maryland originally. And I really engulfed myself in developing my relationship with God. And that was a process. It took many, many years. I would say it took me about 5 or 6 years in my mind that I would think that I was really ready to really start ministering, through song. And no matter, what you do, you have to realize that it's not about you, but it's about the God in you. And allowing that to come forward so that people can see that and want to have their own relationship with God. So that's really kind of what my music is more about to me now, is that I'm singing about something that's very meaningful to me, and that's my relationship with the Lord. And that is what God wants to transcend to others, that He wants to have a relationship with them also. And yours is not going to look like mine, and mine is not going to look like yours, but having your own is important. So that transition was very it was challenging, but I'm at a place now, where God has really brought me through, and I understand even the more now what my purpose is.
Well, and it's interesting, Miss Talein, because you went through that, but it made you the person that you are today. Without those battles or without those struggles, you couldn't be the person who you are today. And just speaking on some of those, trials, tribulations, and battles, for some of those people out there listening and tuning in, what helped you motivated, that help keep you pushing, because, a lot of people, they fold, when, some of the adversity, hits, and just to keep marching on, how did you, what helped you tap into that motivation motor to help you keep trucking?
Yeah, for me, it's several things. One was my relationship that I had developed with God, and just reading the Word and surrounding myself with people who knew Him that could encourage me. When I had those down moments, to be able to pick myself up again and dust myself off and say, "You know what, Talein, do this. God has already empowered you, already equipped you, already given you everything. Like, man, I wish I had half of what you had." A lot of times friends would say, because, man, I would be here and I would be doing this. And then it makes you reflect, introspectively, to say, "You know what? They have a point." You need to get it together and get through this moment. And, just the prayer and the fasting and, having surrounding yourself with the right people that can help you when you're in those down times is so important. Not having people, Mack, that are yes people. "Oh yeah, you're doing it. Yeah, it's nothing wrong with encouragement. But if you're not doing well, I need somebody in my circle to be able to say, Talein, nope, that's not good. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? What is the purpose behind that? Is that really what God desires for you to do and wants you to do?" That's so important, that you have people like that in your life, because having, most of the time when you're an entertainer or you're in the industry, most of the time people think that you just want to hear, "Oh, yes, 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 you're doing great. Yes, yes, yes." And that's really not what's needed, because that can really get you in trouble and in danger. later on, because you have this mindset and mentality, oh, I'm good, I'm great, I'm straight, when you really may not be. So having that is important to me.
Right, and that's very key, and it's interesting that you mentioned that, Miss Talein, because it's having a support system is good, but having the right support system is key.
Yeah.
So so like you said, just having that right support system is very crucial. Let's talk about some of these accolades you have.
Okay.
Very accomplished, if I must say myself. We did touch on the award winning, but I'll let you, fire off some of these accolades that
Listen,
you
I'm gonna
have.
be honest with you. I don't even remember them all, Matt.
No, I tell us. I did see Barack Obama. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
so I did receive the lifetime presidential lifetime achievement award, which is one of the highest awards that a citizen of the United States can receive, next to the Nobel Peace Prize. Because of a lot of the things that I've done over the years, a lot of the stuff behind the scenes or stuff in the community, especially during my reign as Miss Black Maryland and first runner-up Miss Black USA, and even after that, the things that I've done in the different, church communities that I've been involved in, and just helping people, being caring and thoughtful and wanting to see people, succeed and win in life. And I think that piece that's probably one of my most rewarding awards that I've ever received, because of that, and the fact
right,
that President Barack Obama was the one that actually officially signed that as well. There was a ceremony. There were quite a few of us who received that award, and it's just, my husband also has the same award, and it's about people that are really trying to help others and are doing extraordinary things in their community. So that is, probably one of the highlights.
yeah, that's big. That's big. And congrats to you and your husband. That's a huge honor. So that's major. That's major. So on the music, we got Powerful Warrior, and currently, where we have Atmosphere, right?
Right, yeah. So those two singles, "Powerful Warrior," released in 2018, 2019, and was able to win several awards in the gospel industry for that particular song.
Right.
Travel did quite a bit, with that song, just really trying to encourage and inspire people, to let them know, like we were saying earlier, what are some of the things that get you through. Sometimes it's a song, that can
Exactly.
encourage you and remind you of who you are. And that's what Powerful Warrior is. It's that song that reminds you that you're a warrior, that no matter what you're going through, your struggles and your trials, you put on your war clothes and you fight the good fight of faith, as the word of God says. And so it was a song of encouragement, empowerment, restoration, even for some. And my mom, Latina Smith, who co-wrote with me also on my first project, Don't Turn Your Back on God, which is a full CD, 10 songs from me, my very first gospel project. We co-wrote that song together. And she's a phenomenal writer, wonderful mom, has always been there to support me. And that was our goal with the song. We wanted people to be empowered and inspired. So I believe that we accomplished that with that song. And then Atmosphere is my latest current single. I just released about 2 weeks ago, and it was a song that I wrote one morning, and it was in the bathroom, just kind of getting ready for my day, and the melody came to me. And as I get a lot of things like that, they say when you sing in the shower, you sound good.
Right,
So
right,
I ran to my son's room, and he is a producer, up and coming producer, doing some, his own things and making his own marks in the music industry. And I went to him and I said, "Hey, Jess, do you think you can help mommy with this song?" And he
Okay.
said, yeah, sure. Let's see what we can
Okay.
do with it. And so we sat down with the song and, mapped everything out musically for me. Then I asked my husband to come up, who plays the keys also, and
Okay.
to lay some of the keyboard lines for me. That my son at that time, he wasn't as proficient on the keys yet. He's doing much better now. Just really learning and expanding and growing in his gift. And so
Right.
their atmosphere was birthed there at that time.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we went ahead. I recorded the song here. I have a home studio here in Atlanta.
Wow.
So I went ahead and recorded the song and had it mixed and mastered. And voila, here we are. And going to be doing my atmosphere release encounter at the end of this month. I'm really excited about that. I have some of my good friends that are coming to celebrate with me. Pastor Corey Webb, who was the top 10 finalist on Sunday's Best, and another good friend of mine, Carlington Roberts, who was a finalist on Sunday's Best also, and an award-winning artist, good friend of mine, beautiful woman of God, Pastor Carrie Frazier. She's an international artist because she is from the U.S. Virgin Islands. And so we're going to have a great time if you're in Atlanta. You definitely want to go to Talein.com, TaleinHarris.com, and get your tickets. They are currently on sale if you're in that time frame, October 30th at 5 p.m. It's going to be held at my church, 2963 South Rainbow Drive in Decatur, Georgia. Spirit of Glory Worship Center is the name of our church. And so we're just going to have a great time. God's presence is going to show up. And we're just going to bask in that, and I'm really excited about what he's doing. Also have done a video for an acoustic version of Atmosphere.
Okay,
so
wow.
Not only just having the recorded version, but I also have an acoustic version that's coming out with my dear friend, Kezia Alford. She is a gospel artist as well, and, just beautiful person, beautiful spirit. So, and she plays guitar. So when God kind of put that in my spirit, you guys need to come together and redo that song in an acoustic version. And so she was humbly accepted that. And so we just recorded that video last Saturday. So I'm looking forward to, they're in the editing process for that. So got lots of great things coming up.
I see.
I'm excited about, being able to really birth out everything that's in the music. So you guys got to stay tuned. More to come.
Oh yeah, we're definitely tapped in, and we're excited for you. And like I said, much love and success to you. You got a lot going on, and keep pushing, keep mashing on Miss Talein. Can we expect an album? We got an album in the near future, or?
Oh my goodness, Mack! Listen, I thought that first album was gonna take me out. That's a lot of work. Albums are a lot of work, and I felt like trying to do a full project right now really wasn't in my purview. I'm gonna drop several singles. I have another single coming out in February that is geared more towards love and relationships. It's actually a song that's going to be dedicated to my husband. We have been married for 7 years, February 21st. So
that's big. Congrats.
That song is going to be dedicated to him, and I'm really, really excited about the release of that, because I think that's needed in the Christian arena, that we need love songs that aren't vulgar, that aren't talking about things that have nothing to do with the real intent of how God created a woman and a man to be in a relationship and in a marriage. And so that song is going to speak to that. And, and I'm really excited about, the release of that in February. I also have a duet that's coming out with Carlington, who's going to be on the Atmosphere release encounter. He and I have a song that's encouraging and inspirational in this time called Stand With You.
Okay.
And it's going to be, that inspiration that everybody needs, because we're going through so much right now in this pandemic. And people are losing loved ones, and they need to know that somebody cares, that somebody's there that's going to stand with them, that's going to pray with them, that's going to cry with them, be a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on. All of those things are important right now, and I think society has lost its way. in
Right.
that, level of support. So yes, I'm telling you, I got a whole lot of stuff.
Oh no, no, no. You hitting it right on the head. We need those powerful warriors, so to speak, as well. Um, and what I wanted to kind of ask you too, what's helping Miss Talein get through these tough times? Because we're dealing, with the pandemic on top of our hands, and the way things are just crazy out there. What's helping keep you motivated, helping you get through these times?
Yeah, my husband and I have so many people that look to us, for spiritual support, for prayer and guidance. Um, and that has to be the foundation. God has to be the foundation of getting through any tough time. And so for us, it's prayer, it's, standing together, it's working together as a community and as a family. That if somebody is in need and in lack, then we have to step up as a family.
Right.
If they've lost a loved one, if they're in transition with housing, whatever it is, it's so important that you have God as the center, that you have your faith. My faith is what pushes me, honestly, seriously. I mean, if I didn't have my faith, I wouldn't be here today. And so we as a people have to be a people of faith. We have to encourage each other, and stand with me, lock arms, in this tough
Right.
time. And that, I know I lost a loved one last year to COVID. And that was
Sorry.
challenging. And so many other people are losing loved ones to COVID. So how do you help them get through that loss? It
Right.
takes love, it takes prayer, it takes support, it takes you talking to them beyond the homegoing service, through the memorial celebration. It takes you calling and checking them. Hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you good? And we all need that. I need that. Every now and again, somebody might call me, oh, just calling to check on you, Talein. You don't know how that makes me feel. Because
Right.
I'm the one that's always checking on everybody else. A lot of times the person that does the checking doesn't get checked.
Right. Right.
So
So it's
it's
right. It's good to receive every now and then that checking in. That checking in. I definitely feel you. What would you say has been the, I guess, biggest adjustment from when you initially started, making music, and then you took you had to transition, and now you're back on the scene doing your thing. I guess what has been the biggest adjustment? Would you say
well,
making that
I,
transition? Or
yeah, I think you and I talked about this offline when we first had our conversation. And
right,
the thing about the music industry now versus then, it's a huge difference. First of all, you can be your own record label. You can be your own producer. You can be your own, driving force behind your career and making the decisions and choices that you want to make without getting approval for somebody else. And that's huge, because back then you created a demo, right? You
right,
sent the demos out to all these different companies, and you hoped and prayed that somebody would listen to it and want to discover you. But most of the time it ended up in the barrel with the other thousands of demo tapes. And back that time we were doing cassette tapes,
right,
then we transitioned to the CDs. And
right,
the transition from having someone to do all of those things for you on a major label to now you having to do that on your own is huge. And it's a lot of responsibility if you're going to do it and do it right. I see a lot of independent artists do things and it looks horrible. It doesn't sound good. The production's not great, and then you're wanting someone to play it on the radio. You're wanting someone to promote your music and things like that. But your stuff needs to be airtight as if you were on a label. And that oftentimes is not what I'm really seeing. Now, most people are really starting to try to step it up.
right.
But initially, I think when we were given the opportunity as an independent artist to do everything on our own, we had no clue what we were doing.
Right.
and just patterning yourself after what you see that's been successful is what key.
Right. Well, you definitely can answer this question. Which do you prefer, or which do you like more? Do you like having that indie uh, responsibility or indie power, or do you like it a major, being with
Yeah,
a big record?
each one has its pros and it has its
Right.
cons.
Right.
Being on a label, the pros is that everybody, people are taking care of all of the little minor nuances and details that normally you would have to do. And then, but you relinquish all power. You're basically being told what to do. You're
Right.
being told how to look, how to dress. You're being groomed to be whatever it is that they want you to look and be and sound. Even like you may not even be able to sound or be who you really are as an artist.
Right.
And then as an independent artist, if you don't have the budget that a major does, finances is a huge thing as an indie artist.
Right.
Having that kind of budget, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million budget. Most people in the independent don't have that. So you're trying to use as many resources, as many connections, all of those things that you can do to get in the same, media flow as a major, and it's almost virtually impossible. You have to really have the song that's gonna put you on the map and kind of help you to ride, and then you can build from there. So it's having that creative freedom as an independent artist is definitely huge. You don't have to ask somebody, can you do something? Can I actually record this song? Well, can I write the song? No, we're choosing all of the writers for you. We're choosing everything for you. We're telling you when you have to do this, when you're going to go on a radio tour, when you're going to do television interviews. All of those things are set up for you when you're on a label. And so trying to set all of those things up as an independent artist by yourself, it's challenging to keep up with. I remember I messaged you and I said, oh, can you remind me what the time is?
Right.
So much going on and you're trying to manage it all yourself. If you can get a manager, there's different stages, I believe, as an independent artist that, once you get to a certain stage, you need a manager. Once you get to a certain place, you need a publicist. Once you get to a certain stage, and then you may have some that may never ever get at that place. So it just depends. It will take you to the next level if you want it to.
Right. No doubt. Well, go ahead and let the people know. Do you have any shows coming up where you'll be performing? And if so, let them know how they can come check you out.
Yes, so right now, what I have on my calendar is my Atmosphere release encounter. It's going to be October the 30th at 5 p.m. at Spirit of Glory Worship Center at 2963 South Rainbow Drive in Decatur, Georgia. You can go and get your tickets. They are on sale now as we speak at TaleinHarris.com. The tickets are very reasonable, and I did that on purpose and they're limited too. So we don't have a whole lot of space. We are still, trying to make sure that we're being safe. And I do have 15, well, I guess it's now 14 VIP tickets. The VIP tickets are going to allow you to have a meet and greet with us afterwards, and I have some hors d'oeuvres and a VIP bag, and you'll be able to take pictures and talk to each of us and all of that great stuff. So those are limited. So I really wanted that more intimate setting in environment with those that are going to really come and encounter not just me singing, right? Because there's a lot of singers out there, but encounter me as the gift of God through song and just bringing you into the presence of God. That's what my music is about, and so that we can enjoy and all of that too, but there's a different aspect here as well. So that's what I have currently right now that I'm looking forward too. So I hope that, you know, if there's anybody in the Atlanta area, I actually have people back there traveling from out of town to come.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
Yeah, they've already bought their tickets. They've already, you know, bought their, you know, and they're responding. They're like, hey, I gotta be there. I'm gonna be there. So it doesn't matter if you want to, hey, purchase your ticket and fly down, or drive down. If you're, you know, in Alabama or the Carolinas, you know, you're kind of close. Come on down.
Oh man, y'all make sure you definitely go ahead and log on to TaleinHarris.com. Try to go ahead and enjoy the experience. October 30th, man, it's going down in a major way. Go ahead and let the people know too where they can find you on social media if they want to follow you, interact with you.
Sure, absolutely. I am on probably every social media platform there is known to man, right? I am on Instagram as Talein, Talein. I am on Facebook. Fan page is Talein Music, as well as Twitter is Talein Music. I am on what's that thing? TikTok. Y'all listen, I'm trying to get used to the TikTok thing. I might have to put some pointers, my brother, because it's so much to keep up with. So I am
right.
Talein Music. I am on what's that other thing? Snapchat. Listen, just go to TaleinHarris.com. There's a link to all of my social media. So whichever one is your favorite, you'll be able to click and connect with me. And I do want to thank you so much, Mack, for taking the time to have me on today. I'm greatly appreciative when someone invites me on their show and trusts me to be on their platform to share with their audience. So thank you so much.
Oh, no doubt. It was a pleasure, and you're welcome anytime on the Ready to Learn show. And I enjoyed having you. Look forward to you. Much success too. Keep doing your thing. You're spreading a positive message, and you know, keep doing your thing.
Thank you, Mack, and same to you.
No doubt.
Mack Tight Radio Snitch.